know when we're live? Okay. Well, this is what we talked about the other day in what happened in Russia a couple of months ago. We're not going to have any audio on this. It's basically, I think this is a police officer's camera. That right there is the meteorite that we were talking about. I think it might have even been on a brain pop. This is one of the reasons that we study the sun, moon, and earth and their interaction. Another reason is we talked about the potential for harvesting minerals out of the meteors and meteorites. There's an example of the cloud as it hit the atmosphere. You remember our analogy? We had this thing over here, had sand in it. And we dropped the ball on it, and it made an impression in the sand. And then the other one had water in it, and we dropped it, and it didn't make it through. Well, this is an example of a meteor crashing through Earth's atmosphere, slowly being worn away by the water droplets or the particles that are in the air. Okay, and that's in Russia. That's not the most famous one to actually hit Russia, because there was one a long time ago that it was really bad. Nobody was there, but it completely leveled an entire forest. I don't want to get too much into that. I'm just going to go ahead and continue on with this. I'm going to pause it. That gives you an idea. And if you're interested, you go on to YouTube, with your parents and ask them to look in Russia. I'll answer questions when I'm done. Looking at Russia for the meteor that hit Russia last 2013, so February 15th. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, because we're talking about the importance of studying meteors and meteorites, and you'll get more into that as we go into 5th grade, but we're covering the sun, moon, and earth. And we, some of us have already made the journey to Earth. Others of us are still kidding. We've made, as a human race, we've made the trip to the moon, and I talked to you guys about how they will eventually go back to the moon and go beyond in your lifetime. But the two main ingredients that they need to do that are, I believe, this is just haphazardly thrown together, are water and potassium nitrate. Now, it has been suggested by scientists that they're able to go into space and find those two ingredients from an asteroid or a meteor or something that's in orbit to help create the rocket fuel needed to get there or to get back. So it would be kind of like a gas station layover on the way to. And I'm going to show you just a brief demonstration on why it's important to not only study science to help the betterment of human beings everywhere, but how fun it can be. I'm going to make a little example of rocket fuel up here. Because it does, actually, like 80%, remember the space shuttle that we watched, the brain pop on the space shuttle? Well, 85% of the weight that goes into space is from the fuel it takes to get out of Earth's gravitational pull. And not all these concepts are deep on the, please. This is the Alka-Seltzer. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll give it a shot. This is an old film canister. I know you guys may not know what that is, but it's an old school film canister. Okay, get right back with you. Okay, all right, thanks. Bye. So anyway, we'll take this little piece of Alka-Seltzer and put it in this old film canister, and we'll take a little bit of the. Just to demonstrate that I didn't break the seal on this water. We're going to cover the liquid, solids, and mass later. Right now we're studying sun, moon, and earth, and this is kind of how or a general explanation on how it happens. I'm going to put a few little drops of water in here. Why don't I have you go back over there? The two of you go ahead and go back over there. It's fine, it's not a big deal, but I just want, just for the sake of being extra safe, I'll put a little bit of water in there, and then I'll put the cap on like this, and who knows, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I'm not really that concerned, but you do have this on tape, Lydia?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll see if it's going to do it. So that wasn't the best, most exciting. I actually have these in my, when I showed this to my wife a while ago, and I have, in our first house, I have a little,
Please.
got a little less, and I have a little chip, not chip, but a little stain in the ceiling where it bounced off the ceiling, so that's why I wanted to be safe. It goes a little bit farther, a little bit higher you go, but go ahead and hit pause on that.